Walton learning. 5-paragraph writing. Narrative writing. Reading 1. One night, I went to bed and woke up inside a shiny silver spaceship. I looked around and saw 2 men in bulky white spacesuits. One of them said, "Hey kid, I'm Neil Armstrong. Ready to go to the moon?" I said, yes, even though I felt a little nervous and my heart was thumping like a drum. We landed on the moon with a big bumpy thud. I floated out of my seat like a balloon in slow, wobbly motion. The moon was gray, quiet, and dusty like an old chalkboard. Neil stepped out and said, "That's one small step for man." We planted a tall American flag in the soft moon dirt and looked up at Earth. It was glowing like a blue and white marble in the black sky. I waved at it and smiled. They let me press some buttons in the control panel and handed me a rough, sparkly moon rock and said, "This one's for your class." Then, we floated back inside and had space snacks from tiny silver bags. I had potato chips that crunched like chalk but tasted salty. I told them I wanted to be an astronaut too. They grinned and said, "You already are." I smiled so big my helmet got all foggy from my breath. Now, when I look up at the moon on clear nights, I remember that wild, incredible journey. It felt like a dream, but I still have the moon rock sitting on my shelf. I may have just been a kid with big dreams, but for one amazing night, I really went to the moon. Reading 2. One sunny day, I was at the amazing, noisy zoo with my cousin, Jade. The air smelled like popcorn and animals, and people were walking around with ice cream cones and big smiles. Suddenly, Jade had a funny idea. "Let's make a video," he said, pulling a chunky silver camera out of his backpack. We stood in front of the giant, wrinkly gray elephants. They were flapping their enormous ears like fans and munching loudly on hay with their wiggly trunks. Jade hit the red button and said, "Okay, so here we are. In front of the elephants." He sounded just like a real news reporter on TV, which made me laugh out loud. The video only lasted 18 seconds, but we felt like movie stars. We excitedly introduced different animal cages one by one, pointing and grinning at the camera. "This is going on the internet," Jade said with a giant grin. I didn't even know what that really meant, but he looked so excited, I just nodded. Later that day, we went home and uploaded the video to his brand new website called YouTube. He told me it would be a place where people from all over the world could share their own videos. I asked, "Even weird ones, like dancing hamsters and burping frogs?" He laughed and said, "Especially those." Now, millions of people watch YouTube every day. But guess what? I was there for one of the very first videos. Back then, YouTube was just a little website with big dreams, but the rest is history. Reading 3. At first, I thought it was just an extra long winter break. We were told school would close for 2 weeks, and everyone in my class cheered like we just won a prize. No noisy alarm clocks, no tricky math tests, just cozy pajamas, endless video games, and sleeping in as late as we wanted. But 2 weeks turned into something much more serious. Suddenly, the world flipped upside down. We had to wear itchy, tight face masks that fogged up my glasses. Everyone stayed apart, and hand sanitizer was everywhere. Birthday parties were canceled, soccer practice disappeared, and I never got to say goodbye to my 5th grade teacher with a real hug or even a high five. Worst of all, my grandma couldn't visit, and I missed her warm, squishy hugs more than anything. School went online, and at first, it actually felt kind of fun. I got to learn from my bedroom, wear fuzzy socks all day, and eat lunch with my dog. My teacher tried really hard to make class interesting with games and videos. I even got better at using the computer and typing fast. But after a while, I missed real-life school, whispering to my friends, passing notes, and laughing during lunch. When we finally went back to school, it wasn't the same. We had to keep our masks on all day, even during recess. We sat far apart, and my voice sounded muffled behind the cloth. We couldn't share snacks or even high-five. It felt strange to be back in the building but not feel totally together. Still, I was happy to be there. Even behind the mask, I could see my friends' eyes crinkle when they smiled. Now, looking back, I realize how much that time changed me. I learned that school isn't just about tests and homework, it's about people, laughter, and feeling like you belong. I learned to be patient when things don't go as planned, and grateful for the little things, like hearing someone's real laugh or sitting next to a friend.